This is my 5-person audience.
Ready?
Yeah.
We've often been told that a number of liquids we consume are bad for us. Whether it's a mid-morning energy drink or those 4 cans of Mountain Dew, we are constantly being berated about how it's bad for us and how we would be healthier without it. While we understand the bottom line that these drinks may be bad for us, have you ever really thought about or even researched the reasons as to why they're bad for you? Many energy drinks, as well as sodas, have numerous ingredients that each can have adverse effects on the human body. The consumption of these products is not necessarily bad. However, the consumption of these products on a frequent and high-quantity basis may in fact manifest into various unfavorable symptoms as well as cause serious health issues. Though the list of potential harmful ingredients in many of the drinks we consume are abundant, I am focusing on 3 of the most prominent and widely controversial ingredients, as they have the potential to cause more serious side effects and prompt more health issues than other ingredients. Though I myself am not frequently afflicted with these adverse effects, I live with a family member who has health conditions related to some of these ingredients, and I see the day-to-day struggles and have learned much about these ingredients over several years. Many of you have probably consumed some of these products at one time or another and may even drink them every day, and I would like this speech to help you realize the potential dangers from consuming too much of them and how decreasing that consumption may be to your benefit. Within this speech, I will attempt to persuade you to decrease your consumption of energy drinks and sodas by presenting you with 3 ingredients: caffeine, sugar, and brominated vegetable oil, and their subsequent adverse effects that are apparent in many popular energy drinks and sodas. We will begin by discussing caffeine. The high amount of caffeine in both energy drinks and some sodas can have serious adverse effects on any individual. Taken from an article called Behavior from the Science News publication, the adverse effects of caffeine are summed up as withdrawal-related symptoms including drowsiness, fatigue, and headaches, as well as stomach aches, earaches, trembling, and profuse sweating. Many people who depend on morning caffeine-infused drinks will experience these symptoms during the day, and even in the days following consumption. If an individual were to decrease their consumption of caffeine, the subsequent side effects would also decrease, leaving the individual feeling healthier and happier. Since caffeine acts as a central nervous system stimulant, too much of it at one time can have detrimental effects on both physical and mental health. Like all stimulants, the energy you get from caffeine eventually wears out, many times leaving you more exhausted and drained than you felt before. Decreasing consumption of energy drinks and sodas with high amounts of caffeine may train your body to be less dependent on caffeine and more dependent on natural energy, allowing you to finish your day without a nap or having to use the early bedtime excuse. I would now like to focus your attention on sugar. Non-diet sodas and almost every energy drink on the market contain an extremely high amount of sugar per individual can or bottle. Chris Gunners at Authority Nutrition gives us a list of 10 negative effects that an unhealthy high sugar intake can cause, ranging from addiction to high cholesterol and heart disease. A 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew has 44 grams of sugar. A 12-ounce bottle of Red Bull has 39 grams of sugar. According to Chris Gunners at Authority Nutrition, the Mountain Dew is 112% and 176% of daily recommended sugar intake for men and women, respectively. The Red Bull is 112, or just 100%, and 156% of daily recommended sugar intake for men and women. If you have either of these once a day, though chances are you have more than one, you have already reached and surpassed your healthy intake of sugar, and that's only in your morning drink. A large amount of sugar intake can lead to a multitude of health problems, obesity and diabetes at the top of this list. My mother suffers from type 2 diabetes, and I see how intense and emotional the daily struggle between figuring the correct amount of insulin the dangerous low blood sugars of one day and the alarmingly high blood sugars of the next can be. Decreasing your consumption of these drinks will also decrease your sugar intake, making the likelihood of you someday suffering from this disease much less. My last point involves the adverse effects of brominated vegetable oils. Brominated vegetable oil is a chemical compound that stabilizes citrus flavors to allow them to mix with water and other liquids in many popular energy drinks and sodas, including the widely popular Mountain Dew. Excuse me. Brominated vegetable oil has no natural or beneficial use within our bodies. According to a video posted to the healthresearchfunding.org website, brominated vegetable oils were originally patented as a flame retardant used on plastics. Let's stop and think about that for a minute. When we're drinking these types of sodas and energy drinks, we're essentially ingesting a chemical compound that coats various non-edible plastics, such as children's toys or common kitchen appliances. The video also states that over 100 countries have banned the use of brominated vegetable oil as food additives, including India, Japan, and the European Union, as they are associated with many adverse bodily effects. If this chemical is strong enough to be a patented flame retardant, yet toxic enough to have been banned in many countries, how is it still safe for Americans to consume? The humans who live on the European and Asian continents all have the same basic biological systems that we Americans do. So if this compound is not safe for them to consume, it surely cannot be safe for us to consume. As we near the end of this presentation and you mull over the information I have presented you, I hope you understand that many energy drinks and sodas have numerous ingredients that each can have adverse effects on the human body. The many health issues that arise when consuming too much sugar, the withdrawal symptoms related to caffeine consumption, and the health-related issues that are associated with the patented flame-retardant brominated vegetable oil are all things that each of us should be aware of when consuming energy drinks and sodas. I now urge each of you to try and decrease your consumption of these drinks so you can decrease the likelihood of suffering from any number of these often serious and adverse effects. I have seen firsthand the struggles that some of these effects can cause an individual and have personally felt the freedom that comes from limiting my consumption of these products. Many of these energy drinks appeal to us in both color and flavor, but keeping in mind all the potential side effects that can come from consuming too much of them, does it really seem worth the price?